All right, Devastator Squad, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are doing amazing tonight. Definitely been an interesting day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll be very honest. All this stuff with the like time rule changes and then they didn't change it. It's so confusing. I really don't know what's going on today, man. But one thing is for sure is we are like just literally a day away, not even, right? Not even a day away from Justice Hunters releasing and being TCG legal for OTS release. And super excited to get my hands on the set tomorrow and start cracking it. And I figured, why not tonight? Let's take a look and just do a deep dive on what's in this set. Looking at like, primarily we want to look at the 3 decks, Yummy, K9, Dragon Tail. Take a look at the cards. What do they do? And then also just look at the overall picture of the set itself, things to look for. And then I think that would be more than enough to fill up our evening tonight. Make sure to smash the like button as you're tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here watching in the stream or after the fact on the VOD. Appreciate you guys a lot. Welcome in Miguel with the first, with those dabs, dude. Heck yeah. I love that little rabbit dab, bro. It's so good. We got some Jazz It Up in the house, baby. Let's go. Jazz it up. Jazz it up. All right. All right. All right.
That's right. Say it again.
Say it again. Jazz it up. It's so good, man. Welcome in, Miguel. Good to see you, Synchron, as well. Savvy in the house. Blazing. What's up, Blazing? Good to see you. Kodare, how was vacation, man? Good to see you. T-Dot, welcome in as well. So stoked for this set. Me too. I'm very stoked to crack it open. We've got a lot of it coming over the course of this week. We're going to be obviously doing openings throughout the week here, and then on hopefully all of the product arrives on time so we can do a big live stream on Saturday to crack open a ton of boxes for you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously giveaways, of course, for cool stuff, and I'll have all the cards will be available, you know, for sale, of course, for those that need cards for Dragon Tail, Yummy, and K9. I'm not playing any of those decks myself. I'm gonna be continuing to be a Blue Eyes nerd until the day that I die. So you guys are welcome to take whatever you need. I know some of it's already on pre-order. For some of the cards, but I'm sure we'll have a lot because we'll be opening up. I think I have like it's somewhere between 15 and 18 boxes on the way. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be a good time. Jazz says, I set my phone down for a sec so I could do my deadlift, and all I hear is Jazz it up. There you go. That is the motivation you need, right, for your deadlift. Kodarn says, great, buddy. Back and ready for more streams and vids. Heck yeah, dude. Welcome. I'm happy to have you back. Burger Frost in the house. Good to see you, man. Dang, haven't seen you since you were doing the Battlefront 2 streams. How have you been? I've been amazing. How about you? Welcome in. Good to see you again. Motivation to get the extra rep in. Exactly. Yorkie, good to see you. Welcome in. I'm getting a box tomorrow, so in hope I get enough trade value to get you Dragon Tail deck. Pull those collector rares. Pull those Starlight rares. They are Starlights in the set, so very, very cool. They didn't put a lot in there either. So the Starlights are actually going to be really, really highly sought after because they didn't put a lot of them in the product, which is cool, which is great, you know. Yeah, I think Yummy has 2, and K9 has like 1, and then Dragon Tail has 1, and that's it. I think that's all of them. I think that's all of them. But yeah, let's go ahead and just say for reals, you're big. You say I'm what I like to call strong and fluffy. I can bench nearly 300 pounds and deadlift around 450, but I'm every bit of 290 myself. Let's jazz it up one more time. Yeah, do it. Jazz it up. Get excited. Go crazy in the chat, guys. Get those emotes going. Get that energy pumping. Jazz it up. Smash the like button. All that stuff. Share your resub alerts if you have those available for members. If you have it available, click that resub alert and share it. Show your Kaiba Man pride. And for those of you that haven't become channel members yet, join the Kaiba Man. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Become a Kaiba Man. Click the join button. What are you doing? Get your Kaiba on. Get your Kaiba on. Remember when Shaz sounded like he smoked 5 packs a day? Yeah. Oh, man. His second voice actor made me so upset. I mean, eventually I got used to it, but Yeah, that was I definitely liked the first voice actor a lot more than the second one for Chaz Princeton, but you know, they do that sometimes. They did that in the old anime, you know, they replaced Tristan and they replaced Amai, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, let's get ready to rock on in here. You turn 33 in a month and I sound like an 18-year-old who just graduated high school. There you go. That's the way to do it, right? That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, man. Jazz it up. One more time. One more time, man. It's too good. It's too good. Tristan was a good change, though. He sounded like Barney originally. Yeah. I could have sworn I saw Bakura. Jazz it up for real, man. For real. All right, let's head on over to yugioh Pro. yugioh Pro is the way to go. Don't you know? yugioh Pro. All right, let's see here. You're ridiculous, man. All right, let's see here. We're gonna go over to this scene for us, and let's go ahead and grab ourselves a good old display capture. yugioh Pro. All right. You want ice cream? That sounds great. That sounds great. Yes, the set comes out tomorrow, man. It comes out tomorrow. Comes out tomorrow for the OTS release, and the official, you know, TCG worldwide release is Friday. But you know, OTS stores are always getting able to get their hands on them early for you guys to get out. So super duper cool. But yeah, I think first things first. Let's dive into these. Let's dive into these decks, man. What's new? You know, there's a lot of great reprints in this set. We'll definitely go into those in a minute. Actually, yeah, let's start with like just the master set itself. In terms of like some of the big reprints that are in here. Let's do that first. And then smash the like button, by the way, chat. Please and thank you. Make sure to smash that like button. Smash that like button as you're tuning in here. So yeah, let's take a look here first off at the set. So new cards aside, we'll do that in a minute. Let's look at our reprints. So obviously we're gonna give some, you know, polymerization support here for Dragon Tales. So they put polymerization, Edge and Chain, and Fry for Patchwork in here. Cool. For Yummy strategy, they've decided to put Imperial Rise map, Obedient School, where out there, and Gravity Controller. Gravity Controller is a pretty good card. We'll see a lot of play in this upcoming format for sure. So this is an very, very interesting card to throw in here. Obedient School is a really big one though. This was a very, very pricey card as a ultra / secret rare. So this is nice that it does have like a rare / super rare upgrade reprint in this set. So you can get your Obedient Schools for really, really cheap to be able to play Yummy, because this was a very, very hard card to get. It's very old. And then big reprints over on this side. Obviously, the one that was like really standing out here was number 67, Paradise Smasher, our good old borderline FTK card for this coming up format. For those that do not know what number 67 does, it takes 3 level 5 monsters to make it, or 2 plus, and you detach materials from it, 2 materials, to roll some dice. And whoever has the higher numbers rolled on the dice cannot summon or monsters or activate monster effects for the entire next turn. And if he has a material attached to him when you resolve this effect, you could rig one of your opponent's dice to be a 7, so they will always be the highest roll. And of course, you will be able to make this with 3 or more materials with K9 Vanquish Soul every time. So you will always be able to rig this card and just literally lock your opponent out of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So this card is going to be really, really nuts. Definitely, you will see this card played a lot. Other big reprints in here are these Nash cards, the Nash Knight and the CXYZ Nash Knight. These were really, really highly sought after as well to get in preparation. People were already trying to pick them up for for Vanquish Soul, and of course now for Canine stuff. So this is really great that these are in here as well, because these were also kind of oldish and harder to get a hold of. Artifact Durandal is also a really, really good one. Nice interruption cards. This is a great reprint as well. Another really, really old card. C102 Archfiend Seraph, another really great reprint there. So that's always good. Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones, another very, very good reprint as well. It's like a $5 common before. So this is nice. It's going to be in here. And then Martial Metal Marcher is also a really, really good reprint. This is going to be heavily abused in the Yummy deck, so definitely keep your eye out on this card because it's really, really nasty. Other stuff in here is kind of just like whatever. I mean, Volcasaurus is kind of cool. Millenniumizer Strict is kind of cool, but those are the big ones though. These big Xyzs down here is really, really the big ones. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here. So I just want to get like a kind of a heads up in the chat for those that are here watching right now, and those who are watching at home afterwards on the VOD. Let me know in the comment section below what deck are you excited for to play in Justice Hunters. What's the deck that you're most excited to pick up and play for yourself? Is it going to be Dragon Tail? Is it going to be Yummy, or is it going to be Canine? But definitely let me know in the comment section below after the fact, or definitely let me know right now in the stream, in the chat. Let me know before we dive on into these decks here and take a look at what all these things do. Mad Pepsi in the house. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. How you doing tonight, dude? I know your answer. The one that wins the most. Fair enough. Yeah, Paradise Smasher is a really good, very good reprint right here. Very, very, very good reprint. Very good reprint. Jazz says Yummy instant loses to a defense note. Ash confirmed by Triff in his $100 money match today. It's funny. Whatever, I'll scroll up real quick. Okay. But yeah, I know duelists everywhere are really excited for this set. They want to see a very different kind of just like approach to Yu-Gi-Oh. This format will be very, very different from what we've had prior to us playing. This is a format that is going to be very very intense, I think, in terms of just kind of deck piloting and card choice. This is going to be a format where you can't get away with just playing hand traps. You're going to have to play board breaker cards, and some people are actually just wanting to play full board breaker decks instead, to kind of counteract. So cards like Forbidden Droplet, Dark Ruler No More, Pancratops, good old Darkhold and Raigeki, Evenly Matched. A lot of these cards like this are going to see a lot of play again, because they interact very, very well with all of these new decks, especially Yummy. So we will at some point on the channel kind of go into each of these decks one at a time in its own kind of like video, and just kind of talk about what the deck does and how to break it down, how to beat it, things like that, as I also get more accustomed to playing them and playing with them and beating them myself, basically in this set we have 3 new decks. One is a fusion based strategy. The other one is an Exceed based strategy, and then the last one is a Synchro based strategy, but also has a Link monster built into its archetype that is also a tuner at the same time. Interestingly, this deck will allow you to use a Link monster to Synchro summon, which has never been done before in Yu-Gi-Oh, because Link monsters don't have stars, so they can't be used for synchroing, but this one can. So first off, I think we'll start with the fusion deck. So this is going to be the Dragon Tail. I think they're changing their name in English to Draco Tail upon actual release this week, but for now we'll just call them Dragon Tail. I think the name is really, really cool. This is a deck that is all Spellcaster and Dragon type monsters, and very similar to Blue Eyes White Dragon, it is a deck that fusion summons as its primary way. I'm talking like old school Blue Eyes White Dragon, as their primary engine and way to kind of like set up their big fields. So first card that we're going to take a look at here is Dragontail Lucius. Lucius is a very, very powerful card. This is a searcher. It's kind of like an elemental hero Stratos for the archetype. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one Dragontail monster from your deck to your hand, except Lucius. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for your fusion summon, you can set one Dragontail spell trap from your deck. And of course, you can use each of the effect once per turn. So Dragontails is going to be using monster effects primarily to fusion summon. They can use polymerization and other spells to fuse, but they do just have abilities built into some of their monsters and also traps to be able to fusion summon. You also have this one, Dragontail Femina. During the main phase, this is a quick effect. You can discard this card to fusion summon one dragon or spellcaster fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So this is really cool because this is one of the things about some of the decks in this new set is it's going to give you what's called turn 0 potential to play Yu-Gi-Oh! What do I mean by that? Turn 0 means turn player starting for the first time, right? So like you sit down, you roll the dice, and then I go first. I start the game. I'm turn 0. This deck allows you to play on your opponent's turn when they go first via an effect like this. You can at any time use this effect to fusion summon to put a monster on the field during your opponent's turn. So kind of neat, right? Kind of neat. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as material, just like before, you can set a Dragontail spell or trap from your deck. So they all have this like secondary ability. If they're used as materials, they get to get the spells and traps out. You have Dragontail Pan. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material, you can set a Dragontail spell or trap from your deck. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. So this is kind of cool because you can use these, like I said, with the other girl, you can combo these by using this with materials from your hand. So this can be in your hand and you can interrupt your opponent's board and make a fusion and then pop a card at the same time and then set spell and traps to set up your turn. So you can kind of do a lot of really, really cool stuff to set up boards before your opponent really can get through their field and can get through their turn. You could also just do it in your opponent's end phase. You can like hand trap them and stuff and kind of put pressure on them, and then during their end phase you can discard and, well, before they go to the end phase, because this is the main phase only effect. Before they go to end phase, you can trigger 5 mana to go and activate effect, and then you can like discard herself and this to fusion summon the boss monster, blow up a card, set some spell traps, right? Really cool. So you can just set up like a field of cards before your opponent even ends their turn. Pretty interesting. This card has another effect as well. If a face of fusion monster controls destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this card's in the grave, you can place this card on the bottom of the deck, and if you do special summon a non-fusion Dragontail from your graveyard. So this is kind of cool just as a way to recur monsters back onto the field. Obviously, your number one target for Pan's ability when it's used as a secondary effect is to summon back a Lucius. So you can use Lucius' effect to search an additional Dragontail monster, which 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to want to search another copy of Fine Mana. If you're doing this on, if like your opponent interacts with your fusion and pops it, you can just search for another copy of Lucius. So you can summon it, special it again, and use its effect to search for another Fine Mana to then quick effect. Fusion summon again. You see where I'm going, right? The deck really bridges together. Just reading these first like couple monsters, right? You can kind of already see where this strategy is going. It just in kind of like the nutshell, like you know, nuts and bolts of it. So really, really cool. And yes, Yorkie in the chat makes a very good point is Dimensional Barrier will be a very popular card this format because Dimensional Barrier hits all 3 of these decks very, very hard. So this does allow you to kind of play and set up fields before D-Barrier gets set to the field off of a triple tactics thrust. So that is really, really a good heads up as well. You have Dragontail Urgula. This card is sent to the graveyard as material. Set a Dragontail spell trap, which is really, really great. Then you can destroy a spell trap on the field. So this card also, just like the Pan, allows you to remove cards off of the board. And then if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one spellcaster Dragontail monster in your graveyard, place this card on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, add that monster to your hand. So this is another way you can re-add Fine Mana or Lucius back to your hand so you can restart all of those combos. One thing you want to notice too about these cards is they're really high level. You know, this is a level 7 monster. This is a level 6 monster. This is Fine Mana is a level 5 monster. You're not going to just be summoning these cards just like from your hand, right? You're going to be using other effects, or they're just going to go to the graveyard and then shuffle back to the deck to then re-special summon another copy or re-summon Lucius to search it back, right? They're just going to be looping themselves. Lucius is really the only one that's going to be hitting the board and doing stuff, right? The rest of these cards are just going to be used for fusion materials. Then we have the last one, which is Muller. This one is a level 3, so you could just summon it if you wanted to. During the main phase quick effect, just like the other girl, you can fusion summon a Dragontail monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. Also, you cannot special summon the extra deck for the rest of the turn except fusion monsters. This card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material. You can obviously set a Dragon Tail Spire trap, and then you can negate the effects of a face-up monster opponent controls. So this card's pretty cool because it does allow you to just basically have an infinite impermanence to interact with like some stuff on your opponent's field. So you'll be able to you know, get some monsters. And another cool thing about some of these cards too is a lot of these card effects are multi-layered. You can activate them like in tandem with one another, so you can actually chain block certain effects based off of what cards are used, materials are used, right? Like you can basically like use this effect, and then you could like send this and this, and you can like trigger this to like negate, and then pop a card or pop another card, or you know what I mean? Like there's a lot you can do with like layering these effects before you, and then also obviously setting the spells and traps, and then the fusions also have effects as well. So yeah, just reading these first couple of cards, like they're really, really, really good. Really, really good. Okay, now we're gonna go over here to their spells and traps cards, because all these cards you can just get out of the deck and set them at any time. Obviously, the normal spells you can set and then just activate them immediately on the turn that you set them. The traps, you know, obviously you cannot. They're trap cards. They will have to wait a turn. So we got Ketu Dragon Tail. This is basically reinforcements of the army. Good old just search for a Dragon Tail. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon a dragon or spellcaster monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So really cool that you not only get to get a search out of it, but at resolution, you can then also go ahead and just fusion summon. So it's super cool. Another way to get yourself like going and fusing. So this card's really, really cool because it allows you to kind of like search for an answer before committing to the board with like your Lucius or whatever. It allows you to search for a piece that you need to kind of like rip your opponent's board apart. You could search for this to pop a monster, search this to pop a spell trap, search for this to negate a monster effect, right? And then you can, you know, bring out the dude, get another spell and trap set, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then you can summon this and search and do this, do another. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like this stuff just really layers really, really well together. Very, very well designed deck type. If I were to play one of these three decks, I would play the Dragon Tail one. It definitely seems the most like intricate and exciting to me. Then we've got Rahu Dragon Tail. This is their fusion spell. This is their polymerization, quote unquote. Fusion summon a Dragon Tail monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand, deck, and or field. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except after this card resolves a set fusions. Cool thing about this one is, if you read it, it lets you use your deck. It lets you use materials from your deck. So you can basically pick up and search any of these cards out and use them. And some of these cards are specific to monsters in the hand as well. So you do always have to use monsters in hand for these cards. They're also 1+. So you do have like a lot of room with these things, which is kind of neat. But this card's really, really good, man. Just being able to use your deck too to send some of this stuff is pretty sweet. Then we have the two trap cards. Dragon Tail Horn. Target at one attack position monster in the field. Return to the hand and extra deck. So it's a compulsory evacuation device. Then you can place a Dragon Tail card from your graveyard or banishment on the bottom of the deck. So I remember when these cards like first got announced, people were saying like, oh, you can just like banish their stuff and they're just going to be cooked. But like, thankfully this deck does have a way to recur cards from the banish pile in the form of Dragon Tail Horn. It's obviously not the most effective or the best way to kind of do it, but at least they have an option. They have a searchable way to play around something like Dimensional Shifter, which K9 is going to be main decking Dimensional Shifter. Just newsflash to you, that deck does not care about banishing cards. Neither does Vanquish Soul really all that much as well. So prepare to be de-shifted, guys, for sure in this next format. Dragon Tail does not want to play under de-shifter, but thankfully they do have Dragon Tail Horn where they can recur some cards if they really, really have to. Dragon Tail Flame is their other card. Target one face a spell on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Then you can place one Dragon Tail card from your graveyard or banishment on the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. So this is kind of cool just to be able to obviously like unbrick and then draw. But the first effect I think is really, really good. You can target one face a spell on the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn. So the way that I understand, I haven't sat down and like played with these cards yet, but the way to understand, like in just like reading these before, you can chain this in response to like your opponent activating a spell card, for example, and you can kind of treat this as like a magic jammer. You know, if your opponent just says like, oh, I'm going to activate like, you know, my Yummy Surprise, you can just be, okay, chain Dragon Tail Flame, negate the effect of the Yummy Surprise, and then you get to place a card at the bottom, draw a card, you know? So that's the way that I understand this card. I don't know what the actual ruling is just yet, but the way that I understand it is you can chain this in response to the activation of an opponent's spell and negate it, which is pretty flippin' cool. Pretty cool. Last but not least, though, we have the two in-house Dragon Tail fusion monsters. They have a level 7 and a level 8. We'll do the level 7 first. This takes one Dragon Tail monster and then plus one monster in the hand specifically as material. When you activate a Dragon Tail card or effect, this is really good. Quick effect. Target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. If 2 or more monsters are sent to the graveyard at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, i.e. when you fusion summon a card, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Oh, but then you can just recur it with your traps, right? So really, really cool that this is the one you want to go for on your turn 0. When you activate these either of these guys' effects to do the fusion summon on your opponent's turn, you want to go for this card first because you can obviously like activate these effects in the grave, then chain this to destroy another card. So if your opponent has like a board set up, they're like, I'm gonna try to go to end phase, but like, okay, activate this effect, use this effect, discard this, activate effects to destroy a card, activate effect, destroy a card, activate effect, destroy a card, activate effects to set. You know, I see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that you can be doing. Like, there's so many ways you can layer these effects and then just kind of like pick apart your opponent's field before they even have a chance to play or do anything against you to respond, right? It's very, very neat of how these things kind of work. And then we have the big boy, Altharion. This one is a 1 Dragontail monster and then 1+ in the hand. So this one you can take multiples. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target monsters on the field and or in any graveyards. This is key. Any graveyards up the number of monsters used as material from the hand. So this is going to be the 1+. You can do 2, 3, whatever. Return them to the hand. If 2 or more monsters are sent to the grave at the same time, this card in the grave, same as before. Special this card and banish when it leaves the field. So this is kind of like an interruption card. You have this card on the field, and then on summon, you get to kind of like return cards from the graveyard. So you can kind of like interrupt your opponent's grave in some fashion. So very interesting stuff overall. So what do you guys think of the Dragontail card? Just on first kind of like glance, talking about them, what do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? They're pretty sick. Like, I really, really like these cards a lot. I think they're very well designed. Like, these cards just work so well together. And the cool thing about this one, I think this deck is really cool, and just like, you can read them and the lines for their cards just really click. Like, you can just kind of see these and just like, okay, I think I have a really good general idea of how to play this deck. Whereas as we go to the next ones, it's going to get a little bit more complicated. K9 is a little, I guess, quote unquote, a little easier than Dragontail just by itself. But once you add the Vanquish Soul cards, K9 just becomes a mess. Yummy, though, is a completely different story. But yeah, Dragontail, I think, is definitely like, if you're trying to like pick up one of these 3 decks and have a really good deck that's just stupidly good, but also not have to like sweat about like being too hard, quote unquote, because everyone is saying these decks are just going to be really hard. I'd say Dragontail is probably going to be easiest bet right out the gates. Just because I think that this deck just kind of like really is just it's just really well designed. Like, it's not too complicated on the surface level. Obviously, it can get complex as you kind of like do a lot of stuff with it, but yeah, very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool. So I'll catch up with the chat here. Miguel, you singing Dragon Tales, man? Yorkie says this set has some of the best monster design ever. It's really, really well done. W cards, Pepsi says, I hope I pull the Arthalion Collector. I hope you do too. Screams Peak. The meta's gonna change for sure, and you hope you pull Starlights. I hope you pull Starlights as well. All right, let's do K9s next. So K9 is an all level 5 strategy. So these are all cards that you're not gonna be just like normal summoning them down. They are all gonna just be summoned out via effects, right? For those that are tuning in, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please and thank you, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content, of course. So yeah, let's dive into K9. So K9 is a very, very cool strategy in that it also has turn 0 plays. This like Dragontail can play on your opponent's main phase, but unlike Dragontail, which is just a quick effect that you can just use them whenever during the turn, K9s have a little bit of a different thing. They actually have a specific condition that has to be met, where your opponent has to activate a card effect in the hand or the graveyard that turn. And then you can summon their guys. Obviously, these cards do have, like, you can normal summon them down without a tribute if your opponent has 2 or more cards, which usually that's going to be the case. In modern Yu-Gi-Oh, your opponent pretty much will always have 2 or more cards at the end of the turn. Usually, not all the time, but usually. So you can get the normal summons off, but you can just spam these out with effects. But Azuna is the main card. This is the one you play 3 of. This is the best, the absolute lights turn on, boom, boom, boom. You need this one. Mega, mega hardcore. Absolutely need 3 of this card when you play Canine and Vanquish Soul. Either of the, or any Canine package in anything. Could be Canine Crystron, Canine Cyber Dragons, whatever. This is the card you need 3 of. So this, like I said, if your opponent has 2 or more cards in your hand, you can normal summon without tributing. Cool. You can only use each of the effects of Azuna once per turn. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn, quick effect. Special summon this card from hand. If this card is normal special summon, send a Canine card from the deck to the grave. Now, why is that important? I'll tell you. This deck has a really good, like, synergy with Foolish Burial-like effects, sending cards to the graveyard because they also have effects in the graveyard. Well, you'll understand as we go down the line of these cards. Then we have the 66A Joe Cool. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in hand, normal summon without tributing, sure. You can reveal this card and one of the level 5 monster in your hand. Special summon both, but they cannot be used as material for the exceed summon of a light monster. During your main phase, you can add 1 non-aqua canine monster from your deck to your hand. So you can add Lantern, Lupus, and Azuna. Currently, these are the only ones that exist, so it just can't replace itself. But you know, there's going to be new versions. There's going to be new support for these cards in September. So one thing to note though is these cards restrict sometimes on attributes. Light is the common one that is restricted. Honestly, reason being, I remember when we first like revealed these, we were like, it was kind of confusing as to why, because 2 of their exceed monsters are light monsters. But the big thing is, from a card design, you can't forget about, you know, a lot of like just really good generic light level rank 5 exceed monsters. They can still make them. There's ways around it, but you can't just like summon this and just like go off into like absurd rank 5 exceeds, right? They're just generic. So this is a Lantern, 66B Lantern. Same thing, 2 or more cards, normal summon it without tributing. If this card is in your hand, you can target a non-pyro level 5 cannon in your grave, special summon both it and this card, but they cannot be used for the exceed summon of a light monster. During your main phase, you can add 1 canine spell trap from your deck to your hand. So one thing I want to note about this is these effects to search are not on summon effects. Okay, this is very important because there will be times where you can linger one of these or even both of these on the board. These are just once per turn searches while they are face up on the field. Once per turn, Lantern can just search for a canine spell or trap. Once per turn, Joe Cool can search for a canine monster that's not itself. That's very, very important. You know, some people get mixed up with like these are on summon effects. They are not. These are just effects that just exist while they are face up on the field at all times. So just one thing to really, really note about that. So can you see the line already? You know, can you see the line? This one summons 2 bodies from hand. This one can send 1 from deck to grave. This one can special summon 1 from grave and itself, right? So you see these, a lot of these are just a simple 1 card to get 2 bodies on the board to make a rank 5 exceed monster right away, while also recovering cards that you're sending. Both of these cards generate card advantage. As soon as they hit the field, you can then activate their effects to search cards. So if you summon both of these at the same time, like use this to dump this to special this, man, then you can just go ahead and be like, okay, I recovered both of the cards from my hand with these 2 effects. So you literally went -0. You're neutral at this point in card economy, but you have 3 monsters, man. And then you, oh, this is my dice smasher if I want to, you know? Then we have Lupus, 00 Lupus. During the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn. So this one has a quick effect like Izuna. This card is only going to be a 1 of if you play it in the Canine, Vanquish Soul, or just Canine. I guess you could play this as at a 2 or a 3 in pure Canine just to be able to see it more, because it's a very good card. But this one is an ultra rare in the set, so is Azuna. So these are going to be the quote unquote money cards. Azuna is the biggest money card of the set. I think she's like $70 or something on pre-orders. Crazy. But Lupus, thankfully, you only need 1 or 2. But this card, quick effect, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, either or, very, very nice. But banish it when it leaves the field. During your opponent's turn, and that doesn't matter because you just overlay it as an exceed material. You can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, exceed summon using this card you're controlled. Important to note, this is only on your opponent's turn. This is not on your turn. You can't just summon this down and quick effect exceed. Specifically, it's on your opponent's turn. You use this card, specifically, you have to use this card as a material. Now, it also gets an effect. The Exceed monster that has Lupus as a material gets an additional effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. It's pretty good. You know, there's a lot of targeting effects in the game, obviously. There's also going to be a lot of targeting effects in this format. A lot of the stuff in these decks are targeting. They are targeting effects. Sadly, though, when it feels that the Vanquish Soul stuff, Vanquish Soul has a lot of some non-targeting effects, so that's kind of a way to get around the Lupus thing. But I digress. So yeah, there's 4 monsters for this one, and they're all really, really good. They all just work into each other. Like she gets this gets this, this gets this, this gets this goes, you know, or this dumps this special summon itself on your opponent's turn, and then they both make an Exceed monster. Right? It's just crazy. Like it's, again, turn 0 plays, and then also a lot of really good, just like the Dragon Tail, a lot of good card economy, where one effect turns into another effect that replaces a card or even multiple cards from your deck / graveyard to your hand. So these decks are just really good at keeping card advantage, while also generating crazy board control. Now let's go to their extra deck. They have 3 Exceed monsters that are in this pack. They also have a lot of rank 5 Exceeds at their disposal in Yu-Gi-Oh! They also have a pretty good Psychic rank 5, a generic one that came out in Duelist Advance. I forget the name of it. It's just a generic rank 5 Psychic monster, but that card is really, really good for this deck. Definitely want to play that. And then also there's a really, really good fusion monster in the same pack that you will want to have for Dragon Tail and against Dragon Tail as well. Super Poly is going to be a pretty popular card this format. And you're going to want to probably, if you can fit and want to play Super Poly, you should definitely have that fusion in your extra deck. Because while it's face up on the field, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon dragon and spellcaster monsters. So it will turn off the entire deck of Dragon Tail. They are all dragon and spellcaster. All of them. Like, they will have to super poly you back, you know, or make a monster big enough to kill it, because the thing will lose attack points based off of like banished cards. So there are some flaws to the card design. It's not a just God card that just shows up and it says like GG, son. It does have flaws, thankfully. All right, so let's get into the spells and traps, then we'll get to the Exceeds. So they have their quick play. Unlike they have normal spell cards for the other one. This one's, they have quick plays. So this is K9 LC Liberation. Target a K9 Exceed or rank 5 Exceed monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck one K9 Exceed monster with a different name by using that monster you control as material. So this is how you get around the cheat code of, oh, you can't make light monsters. Well, you just use the spell. You search the spell card out with Lantern, and then you can use the effect of this card to then just Exceed on top of your other monster. You can summon out like your Hound or your Werewolf. And then this is treated as an Exceed summon. Transfer its materials to the summon monster. So this is another way to get a lot of materials on. This is another way to get a really big cheat code Paradise Smasher. At the end of the battle phase, if your K9 monster battle this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. So this is pretty nice. You can just kind of use it again, and then it's because it's a quick play, you can do it on your opponent's turn. So you could kind of just like mess around with a multitude of rank 5 effects during your opponent's turn, and then just kind of like cycle them around with the K9 spell card here, right? Kind of is a very interesting card. They have another one too, and this one's even better because you can use it on your opponent's turn and destroy cards at the same time. This is the K9 X-Force Liberation. During the main phase, target one K9 monster you control, special summon from your deck one K9 monster with a different name by using the material you control as materials. Yeah, takes all the stuff. Then you can destroy one card your opponent controls. Really nice. So this one is different because like this one you can use in the draw phase or the standby phase, and there will be instances in the matches where you will want to use this card on a draw phase or a standby phase. These won't always be main phase effects. You will sometimes want to use this on your turn. Sometimes you'll want to use it on your opponent's draw phase, kind of disrupt stuff there. Force Liberation, obviously you have to use it in the main phase, but because you have to wait for the main phase, you do have that extra effect to just destroy a card your opponent controls. And good thing about this card is, can anyone spot? Anyone spotted in the chat? What's really, really good about that destruction effect? I'll give you guys like 20 seconds to see if you can spot it before I blurt it out. There's one key thing about this card that makes it really, really good. I mean, it's a really good card in general, but one thing about it makes it really good. Exactly. Savvy got it. Does not target. This is a non-destruction effect, non-targeting destruction effect. Very, very useful. Very, very, very useful. It just says then you can destroy one card your opponent controls. So it destroys at resolution. Does not target. Very, very good. Very, very good. All right, now we have a continuous card. This is called the Case of Canine. When this card is activated, you can add one canine monster from your deck to your hand. So upon, it's like Fire Formation Tenki. Upon activation, search for a canine card. And one thing that's cool about this is because it's on activation, you can't like Ghost Ogre it, for example, because Ghost Ogre says when your opponent activates the effect of a card that was already face up on the field. If this card said once per turn, add a canine monster from deck to your hand, then you could Ogre it. But because this card says when this card is activated, cannot. So but you've obviously can interact with Ash Blossom. Droll is pretty decent into this deck. Just gonna tell you that Droll's pretty decent into this deck. It's not a god card against it in any way, shape, or form. Definitely, Droll is gonna be the strongest, I think, versus Dragon Tail and Yummy. But it definitely can affect the canine. Just let you, because there's gonna be quite a number of searching effects that you want to use in this deck. But so yeah, on activation, add a canine. Canine monsters you control gain 900 attack to turn your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard. Why is that relevant? Oh, well, you can just throw down a 3,000 attack monster, 2,900 attack monster, 2,900 attack monster, 3,200 attack monster. You know? Don't even... I have seen matches of this deck where they don't even use the cards in their extra deck. They just like, their opponent just play, you know, like does some hand traps and stuff, and they just kind of like, okay, sure. Triple Tactics Talent, rip the most important hand trap out of their hand, and then they play all the effects. Oh, they're all 900 gained. Sit, GG. Attack for game. Like, brother, these pretty good. If this card in the spell trap code is destroyed by a card effect. Interesting here, it doesn't have to be your opponent. You will be destroying this card yourself. In some instances, you will destroy this card. You can set a canine quick play spell from your deck or graveyard. So upon activation, get a canine. And then if you want, yeah, of course, you can get the 900 boost. That's the most irrelevant part of the effect, but it's kind of a extra little kick, you know? But yeah, there will be instances where you will just destroy this card yourself. So you can just set the quick play from your deck, right? So pretty good. Then the trap card, Canine Experimental Liberation. Special summon one canine monster from your hand or graveyard. Then you can special summon one canine Exceed monster from your extra deck by using that special summon monster's material and treat it as an Exceed summon, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. During the end phase, you can banish the card from graveyard, target a canine, quick play, set it. So I don't know if this card is going to be used at all for that first effect, but if you will choose to play this card, it's the second effect that you're going to want. You're going to want to just send this card to the graveyard and then banish it to reset a quick play. That's really all I can see this card being useful for. The other effect is it's kind of like Ryziel plugin. It's just kind of like extra. It's really not needed. So yeah. Dyrell, welcome in. Good to see you. Can any of these decks play around Nibiru? Yes, they absolutely can. As far as I know, the deck that should be able to play around it the easiest is Canine. And then Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail will have the best recovery after the fact. Yummy, I think, is the one that will be hurt the most by Nibiru. But they also have a lot of recovery effects as well. We're actually just about to get into the Yummy cards here. So that's, once we start looking at those cards, we can kind of think about where we can Nibiru in those lines. But no, these decks aren't completely Nibiru proof. Nibiru is definitely a very powerful card. Obviously, Molcharmy Fuvalos and Molcharmy Perulia are all very good against this stuff. But one thing you have to know in this format, if you're playing against Canine and you're playing against Vanquish Soul, you have to also be cognizant of when you activate those effects, because if you activate hand traps, your opponent can Izuna you, they could Lupus you, they could Holly Sue you, right? They have a lot of stuff that they can do if you hand trap them. So that is one thing you have to remember. But yes, from my understanding, these decks can play through Nibiru, but also can be affected by Nibiru, like all of the decks currently in the game. There is a way for you to actually search Nibiru, I think, in some of these decks, but I haven't messed with all of the lines just yet. But let's look at these Exceeds. We have K917 Ripper, 2 level 5 monsters, so it's generic. you can detach one material from this card. Add a canine card from your deck to your hand. Then if your opponent activated a monster effect this turn, so this one is crazy because it doesn't have to be hand or graveyard. It's just anywhere. If your opponent activated a monster effect, you get this other effect where you can set a canine quick play directly from your deck or graveyard. So obviously if you're going first, you can use this effect after your opponent, you'll summon this after your opponent has played something, like you'll like activate, like Fuvalos or whatever. You'll go Azuna, effect, summon, blah, 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 make this card, then get a search and then set another card, right? And then this card also has an effect. If your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, quick effect, attach material, negate the effect. Also great. So this card has a way to negate cards in the hand and the graveyard. So this is a card you can like set up during your opponent's turn 0 to kind of like already start your turn with a monster that can just negate Ash Blossom, negate Nibiru, negate what's it called? Veilers, anything like that, right? Droll, etc. So this card is really, really nasty. This is the card that for this deck you have a very great way on turn 0 to play around Nibiru. You can on your turn also have this card come out before the 5th summon or be the 5th summon, so you could also negate Nibiru on your turn. This is the for me, I've played each of these decks like a little bit just to kind of mess around, and this is the deck that I have felt the most comfortable responding to your Dyrel. This is the Canine is the deck I've been the most comfortable playing around Nibiru with, because you have an in-house effect that just negates it, which is just really, really good. This card, Ripper, is just a great card all around. Then we have the Canine 00 Hound. So it takes 2 level 5 generic, cannot be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects to turn into special summoned. Each time, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just if you summon on this, you summon this thing, it can't be destroyed by card effects. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, this card gains 500 attack after the effect resolves. And then we got once per turn in the standby phase, you can detach a material from this card, target a card on the field, and banish it. Pretty good. So this is another great card that you can make on your turn 0 play for your opponent. So you can start your turn and then just banish a card your opponent controls before you do anything on your turn. You draw, go to standby. Cool. Banish a card. It forces interaction right away. Your opponent has to do something to this, right? Very cool. Very, very cool card. Now, there's also like a world where it's very rare, but there is a way for you to actually be able to summon this card during your opponent's turn before they do something, and then in their standby phase banish a card if they're doing so. Like, I don't know, it's just got those weird niche situations where if like both players are trying to like do like these really fast turn 0 quick effect plays to like do something before anybody can play card effects. Hound, I guess, could technically be on the field at some of that part to banish cards, but it's going to be very, very like unlikely. But I'm just going to say it because it is a possibility for that to happen, but very unlikely. Then we got the big boy, Canine X Werewolf. 2 level 9 monsters, or we can just obviously summon it with our spell cards. While this card has material, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it. So most of the time, this card is going to have 3 or 4 materials on it, so you'll be able to attack a lot. It's got 3,300 attack. If you have the continuous spell in play, it's got 4,200 attack points, and it can attack 3 or 4 times a turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect, so this is any card or any effect, so it could be a hand trap, it could be a monster on the board, it could be a spell card, it could be the field spell effect, doesn't matter. They activate a card or effect, quick effect, detach a material from this card, then activate the effect depending on whose turn it is. If it's your turn, banish a card your opponent controls and or 1 card from their graveyard. So you get to banish 2 cards just right there, non-targeting as well. So your opponent can't know what you're banishing. This does not target. You could also, if it's your opponent's turn, look at your opponent's hand, which is just, oh, cool. We love free card knowledge, right? So this is the play, right? Like, honestly, like in a perfect world, you set up your turn, your draw in your opponent's draw phase, you Canine Liberation them, you summon out this dude, use its effect. As soon as they activate any card, you activate this effect, detach, look at their hand before they can do anything, right? And then you can banish a card face up until the end phase. Could be anything. Could be like the card that they activated, right? But this, you You can just look at your opponent's hand before they can play and rip. And it's like, so you have hand. You don't rip a card out of their hand. That would just be ridiculous. But you do get to see your opponent's hand, and you can cater your plays to that. Like obviously having knowledge of what your opponent has in their 6, 5, 4 cards, whatever's in their hand, is invaluable, right? That's card knowledge in Yu-Gi-Oh is the most important knowledge possible, which is why cards, you know, like, you know, Pointer of the Red Lotus, Confiscation, and Forceful Century, Mind Crush, Trap Does Shoot, etc. That's why these cards are banned and will probably never ever be legal ever again, right? Being able to look at your opponent's hand is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So this deck can just do it during your opponent's turn. Just really good. Really, really good. All right, so that's Canine, chat. That's Canine. Very, very, very nasty. I do want to point out this comment, though, in the chat for Yorkie. These 3 decks will all hate Ghost Spell. Yes, Ghost Spell is a very, very powerful card against all 3 of these decks. Ghost Spell can cut off so many lines with these decks. So many lines with these decks. I would highly recommend playing Ghost Spell this format. At least tinker around with it and see if you can like fit it in. Ghost Ogre is also going to be pretty cracked into some of these fields and some of these card effects. It's just it's kind of going to be depending on what do you value more. Do you value trying to stop your opponent from playing right away, or do you want to value stopping ripping your opponent's board apart, right? I said at the start of the stream, like this format is going to be very teeter-totter, where some players are going to just be like, I want all hand traps. And some players are going to be like, I want a mix of hand traps and just kind of sit in the middle of the seesaw. I want some hand traps and some board breakers. So I will play like a thrust package in my main deck and some of this stuff and maybe some like droplets or whatever. But then I still want some hand trap pack, you know, some Fuvas, Perulias, maybe some Drolls or whatever. Then there's going to be some players on the other side of the seesaw that are like, nah, bro, screw hand traps. It's going to be like maybe Ash, Droll. That's really it. I want thrust, I want talents, I want droplets, I want, you know, evenly matched. I've seen in people's main decks already playing some matches in this format. Also, another really popular one is there can be only one. Or sorry, Dark Ruler or more. I have saying train of thought. Dark Ruler or more is also going to be really, really powerful, especially against Yummy, man. Against Yummy is really, 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 really good. But yeah, let's drop a dark hole on him. I mean, you definitely could. All right, you guys ready to get into the cute ones? The cute ones? Guys, definitely make sure to smash the like button if you haven't already smashed the like button. Please and thank you. It helps us out a lot to have those likes just cruising up. Really, really appreciate it. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Definitely become a part of the Devastator squad and help us out and just keep on rocking and rolling and make more epic Yu-Gi-Oh content. Big shout out to Brian, who had just subscribed to the channel on the stream. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you joining into the community. And yeah, let's take a look at Yummy. Let's do it. Let's do it. Before we do it though, can we get a jazz it up? Can we get a jazz it up for the man, the myth, the legend, the jazz? The jazz? Can we get a jazz it up for the jazz? Can we do it, chat? Jazz it up for the jazz?
That's right, say it again.
Jazz it up, man. Jazz it up. Miguel says, I got Sky Striker. I'm not worried. There you go. You just play all the going second cards. Just rip their board apart. Boom, 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 boom. But Miguel, speaking of Sky Striker, you just segued us perfectly into Yummy Town. Here we go, chat. Devastator Squad, Kaiba Man, and all Patreon subscribers out there. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here tonight as we review these cards before we let the storm loose tomorrow as we open these packs on the channel. We got our these cards are just adorable. I will say these cards are so cute. They're so cute. They're all just little like kitty cat desserts. So this one is Cupsy Yummy. All of these are level 1 light beast monsters. So I will say before we get into the cards, there are people playing stuff in the format that changes types, specifically to just monkey this deck out. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, you could legit activate Clockwork Knight. You know, the continuous spell card that is played in like Cyber Dragons, for example, makes all monsters machines. If that card sticks on the field, Yummy just auto loses. basically. They just auto lose. Because their entire extra deck requires light beast monsters. And so if they are all machines, they don't do anything, right? They just will sit there. So that's kind of like an interesting little thing. Like if you can stick a card like that changes the type. I know some people have also talked about Zombie World. Being able to just play Zombie World. Makes all the monsters on the field and graveyard zombies. Basically the same thing, right? If you can change the types of yummies, then they're gonna be in trouble. They'll be in big trouble. All right, here we go. Cup C Yummy. If you control a Link 1 monster or a level 2 Synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Cup C Yummy once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summoned, here we go. You can add 1 Yummy card from your deck to your hand, except itself, obviously. Or if this card was special summoned by a Synchro monster effect, you could draw a card instead. I will tell you that this deck is going to be before we even just read the rest of the cards, I'll kind of highlight this deck is it's a Synchro strategy. Basically this deck it's not a deck that is going to win on damage threshold. I'll tell you that much. This is a deck that has like their monsters are weak. They can get boosted up. Their monsters can get boosted up. There's card effects that make them really strong. But the main thing here is the monsters are really, really weak. So when you're playing against this deck and you see them just like summoning a bunch of stuff, don't feel too threatened. Like, oh my god, like there's so much going on. It's not like Snake Eyes where all the monsters are like 3,000 million attack points, or it's not Yubel where they're all just like they're just gonna burn you down when you attack them, and you know what I mean. It's not like, or Canine or Dragon Tail. They're not big monsters. They're weak. They're just literally weak, but their effects are really, really powerful. This is a deck that plays on your opponent's turn. On their turn, they just kind of like they just set up. It's a setup deck. It's a combo deck. It literally just wants to like dig through the deck, make the board, and then on your opponent's turn, they use their effects, attribute themselves off, special summon their cards, and then they get secondary effects if they were summoned with the Synchro monsters, because these Synchro monsters are basically Lone Fire Blossoms. They attribute themselves, special summon out the materials that was used to summon them, and then those monsters can get additional effects like destroying cards, drawing cards, negating cards, etc. So they just like, they're a control strategy, they're a combo control strategy, if you will, where like they're going to be doing a lot of card combinations, but they're not killing you. They're just trying to like whittle your field down, and then they'll get you when they need to, right? But that's kind of like the premise of Yummy, like up front. Okay, so next one is Cookie Yummy. Also, one thing to note is Yummy only has 3 monsters for their main deck. They only have 3 main deck monsters. It's kind of important. I'll tell you why when we finish the deck. I'll tell you some cards that are pretty good against this strategy. But yeah, here we go. Cookie Yummy. If you control a Link 1 monster or level 2 Synchro, you can special summon this card from your hand. So they all have that effect where they can just kind of like summon themselves down. You kind of normal summon the first one, link it away, and then you can just special summon, search, blah, 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 right? If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1,000 attack. Or if this card was special summoned by a Synchro monster's effect, you can destroy the monster instead. It's very nice, very nice. Then we have Lalipo Yummy. This is my favorite one. It's so cute. This one's really, really cute. Same thing. If you control Link 1 or level 2 Synchro, special summon this card from the hand. You can only special summon a Lollipop once per turn. This card's normal special summon. Target one card in your opponent's graveyard and shuffle it into the deck. So this is pretty good. You'd be able to like return cards. Or if it's special summoned by a Synchro monster effect, you can banish it instead. Yay! We love the banish cards, right? We love the banish cards. It is a targeting effect, though. It is a targeting effect. All right, so those are the 3 main deck monsters. So you have the Searcher / Drawer. You have the losing attack or destroying it. And you have the shuffling a card back or banishing it. So you can see where I'm getting at. You have a little bit of like give and take of like combo control elements there with the 3 monsters. Now we get into the spells. They have 2 field spells and a quick play. The quick play is definitely the best card in the deck, in my opinion. But I mean, all these cards are pretty good. So here we go. We've got Yummy's Mint Minions, one of their field spell cards. Yummy monsters you control gain 500 attack for each light beast monster on the field. So this is how you can get them to be beefed up. I will make an aside here actually while we're on this topic of buffing the monsters up. This is one of the ways to play around a very hot card right now called Chain Disappearance. Chain Disappearance is a really old trap card from like Invasion of Chaos, an old card. it's seen play in and out Yu-Gi-Oh's history, but not for a very long time. But now the card is like absolutely feasible to be played. It is a normal trap card. What does that mean? Normal trap card, triple tactics thrust. Opponent activates a monster effect on your turn. You can just search that crap out with thrust, put it down on the board. And changes appearance when your opponent summons monsters, normal or special. You can flip it up if the monster has 1,000 or less attack, which all of these do, and they banish all the copies from their deck and also from their field. Why is this good? Well, there is a card that we talked about earlier called Obedience Schooled. This card lets you special summon all 3 of your yummies at once from your deck. And then if you can change its appearance, it will banish all 9 yummy monsters from the main deck and field. Gone. So if you resolve that, game over. Literally, Exodia has been activated. Scoop it up, dude. Go to the next game. Because the yummy will have no playable cards. 0, right? So that is Chain Disappearance is like forte. However, if you hard draw Yummy's Mint Minion, this is how you get around that effect. Because you can play Yummy's Mint Minion and then Obedient Schooled, summon your 3 dudes. Oh, I've got 3 Beast Lights on the field? Sick. All my monsters are 1,500 attack. Chain Disappearance can't activate. They have to be 1,000 or less. So, just one thing to note, you know, because Chain Disappearance is a really hot card right now for people that are like wanting to like find some really great side deck tech that is searchable with thrust that can pretty much cripple this whole deck if played right. But just know there is a way to just play around it. If you have this card in your hand, you can just play it down, then Obedience School, you're chilling. You're fine. Totally fine. But anyways, let's read this card. So, if you control a Link monster, you can target one level 1 yummy monster in the graveyard, special summon it. This is really good. This is how you just get 2 bodies right away. This is really good. So you can just like summon a dude, make Yummy Snatchy, use this to the thing's effect, special summon the monster back, 2 bodies. You can do some synchros or more links or whatever. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 2 yummy monsters in your grave and or banishment and place them on and this card on the bottom of the deck in any order. So it doesn't draw cards for you, but it does allow you to kind of recur some of your stuff. It's like a weaker Ryziel Cross. Then we have the other field spell, which is Yummy Mint Akroki. If you synchro summon a light beast synchro monster, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. So this is really cool. To get a destruction effect as well on top. So basically, like you'll go into a synchro, pop a card, use a synchro, quick it out, make your little dude draw a card, and then pop another card, or pop a card and banish a card. It's cool. You kind of see where I'm going with it, right? And you can so if a face-up monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon a yummy monster from your deck. This is great. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 2. Same thing as before, just kind of like re-go up.
I see. I had no idea that you
Yo, Dank Shells, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Yo, get some love in the chat. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for that. Big love to you. Thank you so much. Potato, welcome in. Good to see you as well. Yes, that's the hype around Chain Disappearance. Absolutely. That's the hype around Chain Disappearance. If you can resolve it off of Obedience Schooled and they don't have the field spell up, you banish all 9 yummies in their deck and field. All of them are gone. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Dig Shells. Now we've got Yummy Surprise. This one, I think is just the best card for this card is so broken, man. This is another card that allows you to play around Chain Disappearance. If your opponent has a field, I guess we can talk about Chain Disappearance again here. Let's read this card effect first, and then then we'll explain it. So you can activate one of these effects, and only one per turn. You can target 2 light beast monsters you control and 2 cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Or you can special summon a yummy monster from your hand or graveyard, but it can't attack directly this turn. Or you can return a field spell from your face-up field or grave to the hand. Then you can place a yummy field spell from your hand face-up on your deck. Cool. So it kind of allows you to do a multitude of things, but the best effect is the first one.
I see. I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Thank you so much.
Do live twins work?
Thanks, Shells. Little $2 super chat. Do live twins work? Do live twins work as like a deck? Absolutely they do. Live twins is a very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh deck, especially with Fiendsmith. They're the Link 1. the Link 1 for the deck, the what's it called? I have it in my binder over there. The Link 1 for Live Twins just turns into Requiem. It's crazy. The synergy there is crazy. Super good. I actually want to play that deck. I want to test out the Live Twins. I actually picked up all the cards. I think I need one more treat. I need the treat, the ultra rare, the one that like lets you like negate hand traps. I really need that card, but otherwise I have everything else ready to go to play the deck. Very, very good deck. Very, very good deck. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. Go ahead and like it, thumbs up it, get some love in the chat again for Dig Shells with the $2 super. Thanks, man. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, dude. Big love to you. Big love to you, man. So for the Yummy Surprise, this is another way to play around Chain Disappearance. So if your opponent, you know, has cards on the field, they activate Chain Disappearance, you can chain Yummy Surprise. You obviously have to have hard draw on it. You have to have hard draw on this off of the, you know, when they chain Disappearance to your Obedience School. So this isn't going to be like always a way you can play around it, but it's another way to play around it. So they chain Disappearance when you summon your 3 guys, then you can chain Yummy Surprise and bounce two Yummies back to your hand and 2 cards your opponent controls. And then the Chain Disappearance doesn't hit, it only hits one of them. So that's one way to play around it. That's one way to play around it as well. Guys with these super chats, man. Dude.
Hello, the waifu deck will happen.
At Pepsi with the $2. Hello, the waifu deck will happen. You all about it, right? The Dragon Tail waifu. This is Kaiba's deck if he went waifu mode, man. It's literally Blue Eyes waifu. There's your Blue Eyes White Dragon right there. There's your Cyber Dragon. This is you put it both together. And then Yummy does have a trap card. Yummy Redemption. It's a continuous trap. Monsters your opponent controls do 200 attack for each light beast monster you control and in your graveyard. So it's incrementally give them a lot of minuses. Once per chain, if you synchro summon a light beast synchro monster, you can draw a card, then place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. This is interesting. I don't know if this card's going to be played though, but you can banish this card from the grave, then target a Yummy monster control, one monster opponent controls, and switch control of them. So it does have an ability to like snatch steal something. But here we go, the extra deck. These are the crazy cards right here. So you have Yummy Snatchy. This is their Link 1. Level 1 or lower. A level 1, level 4 or lower, light beast monster. This is why I was saying like Clockwork Knight, very, very good. You know, if you wanted to change all the monsters' types, you know, they can't summon any of this stuff. If this card is special summon, you can place 1 Yummy Field Spell from your hand or deck face up on the field. Also, you cannot link summon Link 3 or higher monsters for the rest of the turn. So this is a really good, like, limitation that this deck has put on it, is that because this deck can crap out monsters like no tomorrow. Like, especially when you throw the Sky Striker cards in here. This deck can crap out cards like nobody's business, dude. It just unbelievable amount of like combo stuff. And it's good that they put a limitation on this where, unlike, you know, like a year ago where you have a deck that also is just like a crazy spam deck, i.e. Snake Eyes, right? Who has no limitation on it whatsoever. The deck can literally do anything it wants at any time. The only limitation was, oh, I can only summon fire monsters if I have Promethean Princess on the board. Who cares, right? Just going to a Raging Phoenix. This deck, they gave a very good limitation in that you are not able to summon higher than Link 3. So you can't go into crap like Access Code Talker OTKs or Ad Ignister Access Code Talkers and blah, blah, blah. You can't do stuff like that, right? You can't make these like absurd like Link 3, Link 4 crazy boards to either control the game state and like lock your opponent, or to try and like clear the board and win the game. So that was a very good heads up on card design. I will say that is a very good heads up on card design, and they limit you to lower linked monsters. Although there's a lot of really good link monsters that are level Link 1, 2, and 3, but you know, just want to point that out. Once per chain during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect. You can pay 100 life points. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon a secret monster using monsters you control as material, including a Yummy monster. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, why is that good? Because all of these cards can use a Link 1 monster as a level 1 tuner. Every single one of the synchros can use a Link 1 monster as a tuner monster and treat it as a level 1, which is bananas. Bananas. So we're gonna go through Cupsy Yummy Way first. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster, level 2 with 0 attack, 2200 defense. For this card, Synchro Summon, you can treat 1 Link 1 monster you control as a level 1 tuner. So, yep, just like we said. You can only use each of the following effects of Cupsy Yummy Way once per turn. Discard a Synchro Summon, you can add 2 Yummy monsters from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. When your opponent that's pretty good. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you return this card to the extra deck. So this is what I was talking about, the Lone Fire Blossom thing. You return this card to the extra deck, special summon 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard. And these are going to be the ones that you get the secondary effects. So if you summon Yummy, you can draw a card. If you summon Cupsy, you draw a card. Lollipo can banish a card. Cookie can destroy a card, right? So those are going to be the second effects that can happen when you summon them off of the Synchro Summon. So then we got Cookie Yummy Way, which is the same thing. You can use a level 1 target a Link 1 you control as a level 1 tuner. If this card is Synchro Summon, target up to 2 face-up monsters on the field and change on to face-down defense position. So this is pretty nasty. Like on your opponent's turn, when they're trying to like combo and do stuff, you could use Snatchy's effect to quick effect Synchro Summon, and then summon a Yummy Way and just book and moon their monsters. And obviously, you can't do anything with flip down monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh except for fusion summoning. So that's a very, very powerful effect. And then this card also, when your opponent activates card or effect, quick effect, return this card, extra special summon 2 monster Yummies from the graveyard. So quick tag out. Then you have the Lollipo Yummy Way. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard but negate their effects. So they will come out and you can they will activate their effects, but they're negated at resolution, so they don't get anything. But you do get just 2 free monsters, which is pretty cool. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can return this card to the extra deck, special summon to 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard. So all of these cards just kind of like cycle around, and like I was saying, they help you kind of just like rip apart your opponent's field. So you can go through these things where you have this card to like summon out this card, book and moon some stuff, or this card can summon out, and then you can search a bunch of stuff, and then these guys come out and pop stuff. Then you have the field spout, lets you pop other cards. You know, like you see what I'm saying? Like it kind of just can snowball. And there's also other synchros that you can make that are also pretty nasty in the extra deck as well. But we just wanted to look at the Yummies specifically. So yeah, those are the three archetypes. We went through the Dragon Tail, the Canine, and the Yummy. I will say that Miguel pointed out earlier, he was talking about he plays Sky Strikers. Sky Striker is an engine that can splash very, very well into the Yummy. You play Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage, and Sky Striker Hornet Drones, and then you also can play Sky Striker Ace Kagari. And essentially what those are is they're same thing with this and these. Like they're just link ones that you could literally just start playing and synchroing and doing all the stuff with, because you can just use the token and like Kagari and to like synchro, you know, if you have this out on the board. Like there's it's crazy, like it's pretty crazy, man. Like the combos you can do with this deck are really, really like crazy. There's so many plays you can do. We're not going to be playing any games or showing any of like the combos tonight. Today we're just like we just want to kind of like review the set and look at the cards and talk about the cards, just to kind of get your feet wet a little bit. If you haven't seen these just yet or looked at them in detail yet, hopefully this is like kind of a helpful look at these cards. I'm excited though, honestly. Like I'm really excited for this, for all these new decks. I think they all have a lot going for them. And it's really cool to kind of see a breath of fresh air where there's all new decks coming out all at the same time that are just really, really powerful, all simultaneously. You know, because we've been playing with Ryziel and with Malice for this whole year pretty much so far. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of getting sick of those decks, specifically Malice. And I want to see something different. Obviously, Malice will live on. It'll keep on doing its thing until the deck gets a bunch of cards banned or limited. It's going to be powerful. But it's going to be interesting because going into this format this week, we're not having a ban list anytime soon, according to Konami. So we're actually going to have a very different Justice Hunters format than OCG did, because not only are we reading all 3 of these decks, but we also have a stronger Malice deck. We also have a way stronger Ryziel deck, and we have Mitsurugi that exists over here as well. Because Mitsurugi is a TCG exclusive deck, does not exist in the OCG yet. So I'm very curious to see how Mitsurugi kind of plays into this, because I have a feeling that that deck should have a pretty good time against a lot of this stuff, especially because you know you can just like nuke their board. You can nuke their board at any time, right? So, but yeah, chat. Hopefully this was helpful though. Seriously, I hope this was helpful to kind of like introduce to the stuff, to the cards tonight, because we're gonna be opening this product like crazy on the channel this week. We've got I've got boxes to open. We're gonna be opening up some stuff tomorrow. I got stuff to open for Friday, and then we've also got like tons we're gonna do on a live stream on Saturday. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Jazz says Konami confirmed the time rules are going to come into the main game after Worlds. They walk back the no way. Where's the source? Where's the source for that one? No way. No way. No way. Hold on. Hold on. No way. No way. Yeah, this was something crazy from earlier today, guys. I'm sure you've all heard about it. I put up a video about it earlier today, but then I ended up taking it down once they changed the rules back. So I don't want to spread misinformation. But now it's I guess back to it again. Let's take a look. I want to go over to the Twitter page. So basically what they did was they decided to like change the time rules to make it like 50-minute matches, but then it's like double loss at the end of time if no one is an actual winner, meaning you like no one has lost or won 2 games. You just lose. Everyone loses. We're all losers. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And then they, I guess, like walked it back and just like decided, oh, we're not going to do that. And now I guess they're doing it again. So it's on their Twitter page. Okay, so let's go find Konami Yu-Gi-Oh Twitter. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this, chat. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Curious. All right. Earlier today, the Duelist Advanced Regional Qualifier Season English FAQ was posted with an error that included the WCS end of match procedures, which has now been revised. Okay. That was the revision. Where's the change? Where's the change to the change? Where's the change to the change? This is all old information. Where's the change to the change? Where's the change to the change? House of Champs posted it. Okay, I gotta find this. I gotta find this. One second. I want to see this. I gotta see this, chat. I'm not happy today. I am not happy today with this like back and forth changes to the game. I'll be honest, I've been really frustrated with the way Konami's been handling Yu-Gi-Oh this year. The products have all been like really just like back and forth and not performing well. And then also like the random changes they're deciding to do to like Time Wizard and now the main game, and I'm so confused. What's their angle? You know, like what's the angle here, man? Okay, so you said they House of Champs put it up. Okay, let me find John Moore real fast. Did he put it up on Twitter or on YouTube? Did he put it up on Twitter or YouTube? Must be on Twitter because he hasn't posted today on YouTube. Okay, so I gotta go to just find his Twitter real fast. Let's see here. I mean, I don't have a Twitter, so I can't search for stuff. I haven't set one up before. Can you link me it, dude? Can you link it to me so I can show it on stream? House of Champs. Let me see if I can find it here. This is all just like old information. Yeah, I'm on his page, it's just like showing stuff from like just randomly from out the like last 3 years. How do I like find the actual post? Try that. Or would you send it to me on Facebook? Where'd you send it at? Sorry, chat. We're trying to figure out. I want to see this real quick. I really want to see this real quick because I'm like really I'm like really passionate, man, about like this stuff that Konami's been doing with Yu-Gi-Oh lately. Like this is our game, guys. This is our game, you know, and they're just like walking us through like we're just a bunch of fools. And it's like I've usually been really nice and like trying to like find Konami's points and like defending them and stuff like that, but it's just like lately I've been having a hard time wanting to yeah. It's almost time for the gloves to come off, man. It's almost time for the gloves to come off. Okay, here we go. Okay, hold up. Jazz coming in clutch. Jazz coming in clutch, chat. Give him. Jazz coming in clutch. We found it.
That's right. Say it
Found
again.
it. Okay, so we it says the change to the round time and end of match applies to the upcoming World Championship in Paris, France, and our commentators will be discussing it in more detail at the event. We are looking to apply these changes to all events in the future at a later date. After the World Championship, please note details have not been finalized. Yeah. I really don't want them to do that. As rough as the time rules already are in Yu-Gi-Oh, I really don't want them to do that, man. This comment sums it up beautifully in that forcing double game losses in time being called will make it so people can just have malicious intents in the games. Like games that they know that they're not going to win, they can just slow play it out and just like grind it out and make it to a game state where they can just like stall to time and then both players lose. So they can just steal a win away from their opponent, right? Which is it's just ridiculous. And then I like this other one too, where it's like scaring off new players from reading cards. Cause yeah, like now you're going to read cards and everyone's going to think you're like trying to like cheat them. Cause that's a very, very common like slow play tactic that people do is they'll like grab all your cards and read them and they'll do it like multiple times. I swear I've had people like pick up Dark Hole on my field and read it. Like, oh dude, what does this do? Like, dude, it's Dark Hole. And I get a translation. Dude, it's Dark Hole. I'm not kidding. I've had this happen to me at a regional before. Guy literally picked up my Dark Hole and asked for a translation of Dark Hole. Like, bro, it literally says destroy all monsters on the card. No, I need a translation. I'm not going to keep playing until the judge comes. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. So yeah, to that point, like this could be a thing. Like new players are like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this card does. And then like someone could just like yell at them like, oh man, you're just trying to slow play me because you don't know what the Yu-Gi-Oh cards do. Why don't you know what Yu-Gi-Oh cards do if you're coming to play at locals? You come to play Yu-Gi-Oh to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, come on. I don't know. It is what it is, but do you guys have any thoughts on this, chat? Any like input on this like time rule change? Very curious to like hear people's opinions on this because I have seen so many mixed feelings about it over the course of the day here. And it's been driving me bonkers, man. It's been driving me bonkers seeing this stuff, man. Cause it's crazy. Fraser said he loves it. Really? I wonder what his thought is. I guess I gotta like listen to what he has to say about it, because I do like to listen to his opinions, because I see eye to eye with him on a number of things, and I'm very curious to see what he says about this change. Interesting. Sally says it's dumb and toxic. Dude, I feel you, man. It makes me so upset. I'll be honest, it makes me so upset. I think it's more so what makes me upset about it is it's just like last time with the Time Wizard stuff. They don't tell you. You know, they're not telling anybody about it. You just like happen upon it in a tournament document. You know, like where's the communication? Where is, by the way, we're gonna be updating, because it went into effect 5 days ago, according to the document. It said effective July 25th. It's like that's based almost 5 days ago. You know, and it's just like it just feels like such a cheat. You know, to just be implementing this stuff and then we find it way later. You know, it's like so confusing. Oh yeah, he's doing a redo locals today. It's true. It's true. Well, I think the next thing we can do is actually just like take a look at some deck lists for this upcoming format. There are, you can take a look at some of the deck lists from the Kong's Cards tournament that happened this last week, where they allowed Justice Hunters to be legal. I'm trying to find the like one that had all of the deck lists on it. I remember I saw all of these online, like on a... See if we can go through all these, man. Okay, that's that first one. Let's look at the first one here. So this was the winner. This was the winner of that tournament. It was Canine, Vanquish Soul. So this is gonna be the deck to beat when it comes to this upcoming format with Justice Hunters out. Okay, chat. This is going to be the deck to beat. I mean, they're all going to be good, but Canine Vanquish Soul is the boogeyman for real. This deck is crazy. I will actually say on the upside, if those time rules do change, then that will affect this deck, because for those that don't know, Vanquish Soul is a deck that could burn you to death. In this version of the deck, that's not the win condition at all, but Heavy Borger, which you play one of, sometimes two, can burn you for damage. So there's a lot of instances where this matchup will just kind of force you into time, so they can just Borger burn you. And then you just lose to that. So I guess that could be one positive outcome to the time, if the time rule change does come to us, is that they can't just Borger burn you, or they can't spooky dog, you know, they can't spooky dogwood you or stuff like that. You know, Gaga Cowboy for me for game, right? Like that won't happen anymore. Can't. But yeah, this is gonna be the deck to beat. So triple Ash Blossom. Look at a lot of hand traps in the deck. We were talking about Nibiru earlier. Nibiru is definitely gonna be really, really good. This is the only deck that actually has an in-house negation for it. Every other deck can get punished by it a lot. Really good against Yummy because Yummy, the monster will be really weak. The token will be so weak on the attack points. So that's pretty helpful to be able to just kind of like kill it. But yeah, we see here 3 Fuvas, Nibs, and then side decking obviously Lancia. I was telling you guys Shifter when we were going over the cards. Do not be surprised if you see Canine and Vanquish Souls or just Canine decks playing Shifter. I honestly would imagine there's going to main deck them. Because Shifter is very, very good in this deck. Very, very good in this deck. Very, very, very good in this deck. So as far as Canine goes, we've got 3 of the Azunas, 3 of the Joe Cool, 1 of the Lantern, and 1 of the Lupus, 1 of the Continuous card, and then 1 of the quick play that lets you destroy a card when you do the exceed someone on your opponent's turn. And then the rest is just Vanquish Soul, dude, right? So we've got, you know, the 1 Caesar Valius, 3 Mad Love, 1 Borger, 3 Holly Sue, 3 Xiaolong, 3 Raisin, 3 Stake Your Souls, the new Vanquish Soul spell, and then the trap card from Agov. And then Rhoda, of course, because you can get some warriors. These guys searches Raisin, which Raisin is the shadows for Vanquish Souls. So yeah, this is basically like a cookie cutter like deck that you're going to be seeing. A lot of this is going to be the K9 Vanquish Soul strategy. Very, very potent. It's very good. This stuff bridges very, very well because Holly Sue and Xiaolong are level 5, so they're very easy to summon out with these cards. And these cards have broken abilities as well. All the Vanquish Souls have really powerful effects when you get them all in rotation if you have the right attributes. And then it plays a really, really robust extra deck as well. So this is going to be... Can Lancia cancel Shifter? No. Lancia does not cancel Shifter, as far as I'm aware. Because Lancia affects the player. Or Shifter affects the player, like, entirely.
I see. I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Pepsi. Give some love there. Like that up. Did I make the blue eyes Dracotail yet? I have not. I have not. We could definitely mess around with it. I think that's a great idea. We could try that out. I don't see why the synergy shouldn't exist. The synergy should exist there. Yeah, you can play Eye of Truth to stop this stuff. There's two texts for this. That can stop the Vanquish Souls from activating. One of them is Eye of Truth, and the other one is I forget the name of it. It's some normal trap card from like 2021 Mega Pack. Obviously, being normal trap, you could search it out with Thrust. That's why people are wanting to use it. But it basically just states that both players show their hand, and then if you each have a card of the same name, you can't activate those effects this turn. But it's just to reveal the cards. There's also monsters that do that, like Ceremonial Bell. You know, it's old monster from like Spell Ruler. While it's face up on the field, your opponent has to show their hand. So.
I see. I had no
idea. Holy macaroni, guys!
Show us the way, my brother.
Yo, thank you so much, man. Get some love in the chat for these guys, dude. Jazz with a 5 super chat. Thank you, dude. The burrito, right? The burrito. You get the burrito money. It's back. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. I really appreciate that so much tonight. It's really appreciated. Thank you, guys. But yeah, so this is the deck to beat for sure in this next format. K9 Vanquish Souls. I'll take a look at some of these other decks. So there's a Yummy deck. This one is like I was saying, taking a very different approach where they're doing partial hand trap and holy moly.
Yes, show us the way.
I see. I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Oh man.
Gotta get in this love.
Dude, Pepsi with the 5 super chat. Miguel with the 5 super chat. Thank you so much, guys. Holy moly. You guys are cracked, man. Thank you so much. Holy smokes, guys. Oh my goodness. You guys are wild. You guys are wild. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is one of the ways that I think a lot of people are gonna try to experiment around with this deck in this format, is just playing a lot of board breakers approaches, and also doing some hand trap stuff. Notice how it's all normal traps. So like these hand trap cards are all normal trap cards, so they're all thrustable. This entire deck is thrustable except obviously Droplet and Yummy cards, but otherwise you can thrust for Dark Ruler, you can thrust for Obedient School, you can thrust for Engage, you can thrust for Pot, thrust for Talents, thrust for Dominus, Songs of the Dominators, Evenly. Dude, thank you so much for the $2, man. Oh my gosh. You guys are nuts.
I see. I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Jazz it up.
Jazz it up. All right, man. Fine. Jazz it up, man. Jazz it up, dude. Jazz it up. Jazz it up.
I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Holy moly.
Some master duel after this.
Thank you so much, Pepsi, for another $2 super chat. Some master duel after this. Yeah, you can play a couple games. You can play a couple games. Potato says, damn, it doesn't play into K9 at all. No. That's the trick. That's the trick in playing a version like this. I was want to say that's why Dominus Purge. Oh. Did I lose connection? Give it a second. I'm having a slight internet hiccup from the storm going on right now. Can you guys still hear me and see me? Like, is everything okay, or let me know? You're good? Okay, cool. Yeah, we got probably a slight internet hiccup from the storm going on. We have some thunderstorms, crazy thunderstorms going on today. Cool. But yeah, this is why Dominus Purge went to like $70, $80 the other day, because people realize that, like, oh my god, this card is broken first and foremost, but really good and yummy, and because this deck doesn't care. It's literally all light monsters, and then there's Kagari and Typhon, and there's a couple cards that get affected by Purge if you play it from hand. The March Drummer dude, Typhon, SP Little Knight, and Kagari, whatever. But yeah, this deck does not play into this does not play into Azuna or Holly Sue or anything like that, man, at all. It's wild. It's wild. Because you have no monster effects that activate on hand or graveyard, man. This is all hand traps that are just traps.
I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Play Giga for the one-time E for the Jazz.
Thank you so much, dude, for the 5 super. Play Giga for the one time for the Jazz. Let's do it. I'll play it. We'll play it on Thursday, dude. I'll build it. We'll play it on Thursday. We're doing Edison on Thursday on stream. Edison on Thursday. And then we're going to play Edison in Discord after the stream. Remote duel. So come. You guys want to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Like actual cards on Thursday? After the stream Thursday night, we're going to play in my Discord server. We're going to play some actual remote duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Super excited. Do you want to jazz it up, bro? Go! Jazz it up! Jazz it up! Jazz it up! So good, man. But yeah, you've noticed that right away, right? This deck does not play into K9 at all. They can't punish you with Azuna at all, or with
I see.
with Lupus.
I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
In matching him.
Pepsi says I'm matching him. Or you just going back? You guys are just super chatting back and forth. Thank you so much, Pepsi, for the $5 as well, man. Holy moly, man. Wild. Hey, mama. You okay, Bubba? You've become a meme. Never thought you'd see the day. You're not becoming a meme. For Thursday, yeah, we'll do DB on stream. For playing, for just like streaming on Edison, and then afterwards we'll play the remote duels in Discord. I haven't decided yet if I want to stream any remote stuff. I mean, I definitely could, but I don't know if we need to. Maybe I guess we could stream. Maybe I'll just stream big tournaments at some point. When we do like bigger tournaments, we can stream them. But yeah, I think this list is insane. Like, this is the way I would probably play Yummy myself. I would play. I'd play it like this, like no hand traps at all, minus except the traps, and I just play all board breakers. Because this combo you're gonna see a lot this format. Dark Ruler or more into Droplet is cracked. Like, this interaction right here just cooks the Yummy board, dude. Cooks it. Like, if you do this and then and Dark Ruler, then you resolve a Droplet afterward, it's over. Like, you can just, it's just free. You can just eat them all up, dude. Desserts. Nom, 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 nom. When is GOAT format? So we'll interchange. We'll do 1 week Edison, 1 week GOAT. We'll go back and forth. Every Thursday is gonna be Time Wizard on the channel, and then I'll also start. I want to start uploading Time Wizard videos as well. You know, like during the like Thursday days or whatever. Once I can start like getting some stuff together for that. But I would love to do that for you guys as well. Yeah, I do want to play Edison and GOAT. I love them both so much. Wish your phone luck going to the Steam room. Nice. And yeah, commentary over remote duels could be cool. Like after the fact, like I could record some of the games, and that would actually be a pretty cool idea.
I had no idea that you were such a big fan of mine.
Yay, we could stream some Master Duel against viewer.
Pepsi says, yeah, we can stream some Master Duel against viewers. We're gonna do that too. But absolutely, we're gonna do some Master Duel streams where you got like channel members and Patreons. You guys can just duel me, and we'll stream those for sure. Those will be a blast. Absolutely. You're so down for remotes. I'm gonna go on a big shopping spree this weekend. Oh, dude, is it payday? Is it payday this week? Just in time for the new decks, right? So let's take a look at some other decks for that top from that Kong's cards. Orcus is another deck that you gotta worry about. This deck did really good at our US National a couple weeks ago. Did very, very well. Actually won the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, Orcus can do it combos really well as a supplementary package with Mitsurugi and Fiendsmith, because this stuff only locks you into darks at some point. So you can do Fiendsmith first, and then you're not caring if you're locked in darks with, you know, Mitsurugis are all dark. But yeah, for those that don't know Orcus, I mean, it's a really old deck from like 2018-19. It was a top deck at the game back then, TOS format, one of my favorite formats of all time. And it's really cool to see all their new support coming in, and they're really, really good. This deck is really cracked. I mean, this is cool just to see a pure Orcus deck. I actually really want to play this deck. I love Orcus. I never got to build it back in the day because I was just like an absolute just one-trick Salamangreat player in TOS. That's all I wanted to play was Salad and nothing else. I mean, I messed around with alter guys here and there because that was a fun, super easy, cheap deck. But I always wanted to play Orcus. I'm going to put this deck together actually for Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I really want to play it. I think the deck is really, really, really bananas. And it's going to do really well in the new format. This deck plays really, really well into the new stuff. Obviously, the hand traps are a blunder into K9, of course, but like you do have the trap cards to back it up. Well, also, one of the beautiful things about this deck is it's entirely dark, so you can get away with playing Dominus Impulse to its fullest potential, which is really, really handy because it's obviously still one of the most powerful hand traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Being able to negate special summons is ridiculous, right? But yeah, this deck, gotta look out for this one. We gotta keep our heads up. Speaking of Sky Strikers, though, Miguel, here you go, dude. Sky Striker also did really, really well at the Kong's card tournament. We'll go ahead and zoom in on this one because it doesn't want to up. But I'm just joking though. This is not Sky. It's not pure Sky Striker. It's not your deck. I just want to pull your leg. It has the Sky Striker package. Okay, so Sky Striker package mixed in with Mitsurugi Fiendsmith. So this is a very interesting kind of like pile deck. Where you obviously have a lot of high impact hand traps, Droll, Ash, Fugalas, Perulia, sure. You have the thrust obviously to get into the end gauge in talents, but you also have Daruma Cannon, which is pretty nasty. This card's still pretty broken. But you have Mitsurugi stuff because you could obviously like Ray Rose into Flame Banshee or Feral Imps, Fiendsmith combos because it's just two monsters, you know, or summon Ray Rose, oh, Moon. There's a lot of like lines here. It's a very good just like deck that kind of just bridges a lot of strategies together. Yeah, this is another way you can utilize striker cards. It's not just going to be for Yummy. You can play them with other stuff. They mesh really well with Mitsurugi because the Sky Striker A0 literally just tags out into 2 level 4s that just goes into full Mitsurugi board, while also getting engaged. So, I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I do like that deck a lot. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Obviously, we got to watch out for this deck. I mean, Malice is going nowhere, guys. Malice is going nowhere. This deck is still gonna be nasty. Still gonna be nasty. Still gonna be doing a lot of work. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say about Malice, man. Like, it obviously plays into K9 because of hand traps, bestials, March Hares. All that plays into K9. However, this deck is just so resilient, right? This is the reason why this deck is just so powerful. It's so resilient. It can play into so many cards, and not be and not like lose. And you know, unlike on Master Duel, you know, we've been playing some Master Duel on the channel as last like week, where Malice is out on there. This obviously has the backup Adagnister and then the Cybers, you know, Wizard Adagnister. You have the Cyber Spam. So you have like all these extra ways to like bridge into combos and just interact with hand traps. Obviously another deck that can play Dominus Impulse, so it's full potential because it's literally all dark monsters, including the bestials, all darks. Extra decks, all darks. So yeah, still got to worry about this one, man. Still got to worry about this deck. Bring back OSS? No, dude, no way. Do not bring back OSS. No thanks. This is another deck to look out for. This was not from this Justice Hunters format, but I do want to just like point this out real quick because this is a deck that is playable in the Justice Hunters format and is very, very good. The Lunalight deck. This deck got a lot of new support cards recently, and it is it's pretty nasty. So definitely don't write this deck off. Honestly, I would say for this upcoming format starting, you know, this week, obviously we're gonna have the new decks, you know, K9, Vanquish Soul, and then K9 Kreestron, K9 Cyber Dragon. Then you're gonna have K9. You're gonna have Yummy, Sky Striker Yummy. We're gonna have there's a Fiendsmith Yummy deck as well out there, dude. Because why not? I've seen people doing that. There's also the Dragon Tail. There's Dragon Tail you can mix with Branded. There's Dragon Tail you can mix with other things. There's a lot of decks, and obviously we still have Yugioh, we have Mitsurugi, we've got Mermail, we've got Lunalight, we have Memento, we've got Blue Eyes, we've got Mitsurugi. We have so many decks right now that are good, and they all can play with the new stuff. You know, they're not going to be written out entirely, and I think that's one of the great things about this upcoming format is there's going to be a lot of diversity, and you can just play a deck that you really, really like. You don't have to play Yummy. You don't have to play K9 Vanquish Soul. Obviously, those are going to be the best choices if you want the best conversion for your time in your matches. However, you can still play whatever you want. Sky Strikers as well. It's very, very good deck. Especially if we ever get flipping Camellia, man, the deck will be way better, but we're still waiting for Camellia to show up. But yeah, these there's a lot of, you know, like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up in this format, man, and I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to see how I can adapt Blue Eyes to the format. Also, like you guys were talking about earlier, there is a potential for us to maybe do some Dragon Tail shenanigans with Blue Eyes White Dragon. I don't really know how that's going to work out, to be honest. But there is maybe potential there in some capacity. But yeah, we'll see. We'll kind of see where it goes from there. You did like Lunalight years ago before it got its crazy support. Dude, time for you to come back and play again, man. Play Lunalight. It's really good, and it is not a difficult deck to build either. Not a difficult deck to build. Don't worry about Impulse. Just scratch that out. Everything else is very simple. It's pretty much all of this has been reprinted 1,000 times. Very easily accessible. This deck is very easily accessible, which is so nice. So nice. And it's really good. Like, I borderline want to build it myself and try it out because I really liked Lunalight as well back in the day. And the best thing about the Lunalight is like, they're not playing it here, but you should be playing the scale because the scale is not once per turn. Where are you? Tiger. This card is not once per turn at all. Like, you can use this effect multiple times. It just says once per turn, but if you get another one, you can use it again. Once per turn, you can target when a Lunalight Fusion Watch and Gravity Special Summon, ignoring its summoning conditions. Cool. This card is normal special summon. You can add a polymerization or fusion spell from your graveyard to your hand, except the fusion wave motion. So you can use these effects multiple times. You just keep like re-triggering them. Like, it's pretty good. Yeah, Impulse is getting reprinted in the Megatons. Yep, Megatons are they loaded us up today with Dominus Purge and Dominus Impulse for like the big headliners for the reprints, which is great. Much needed. Much needed. Much needed. Yeah, I'm excited for the tins, guys. I'm actually like I'm ready to start like putting my pre-orders in for them, and I just like last year, I want to be able to hook you guys up with tins. So if you are going to be wanting to get tins this year, the 2025 Mega Tins, let me know on Discord or Facebook or whatever, because I can hook you guys up for them. You'll get them much cheaper than if you go to the retail stores or OTS stores or whatever. Like for the most part, like we sold them like pretty low last year, especially if you're a Patreon subscriber. I was selling tins like really nice for people. And then like the more you get, obviously the cheaper they go. You can get full cases if you want to. It's 12 mini boxes per case, which is, it's cool. I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited for the tins. Like I love doing those, and I love providing them for you guys because, you know, it's fun. It's fun to be able to help you guys save a bunch of money, and also just like you can pull like these super crazy good cards. Like last year, Captain Trips bought a case of tins, and he pulled like double triple tactics thrusts and 2 SP Little Knights. His case was just out of control crack, dude. He pulled Typhon. Like it was just like, oh man, like we were just going bananas when we were ripping his case on stream. Oh dude, I could not contain my excitement. It was crazy. His case was insanity, man. Oh, I hope so. Blackout Laughs should be in the tins as well. I would imagine it'll be in the tins, man. I don't see why it wouldn't be reprinted. I don't see why it wouldn't be reprinted. Because it's that card's from Phantom Nightmare, I think, or Legacy of Destruction, one of the two. It's from the early sets of last year, so it should be in the tins. Your phone survived? That's impressive. That's impressive. Use Magician Souls and Illusion Magician and Blue Eyes free summon. Oh, I've seen that on Master Duel so many times. So many times in the last couple streams. We've seen that exact combo, man. We've seen that combo so many times. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. But yeah, guys, hopefully this was helpful though for you guys tonight to like get started with the Justice Hunter cards and like take a look at some of these deck lists that have already seen play in the TCG over this last weekend. And if this was helpful for you and you'd like me to do this again when like another new set comes out and there's new decks and things like that, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you're watching after the fact, or let me know on the stream, or you could obviously always just tell me on like Discord or Facebook or whatever and be like, hey man, I really like that. Like what you did talking about the decks and showing all the cards and talking about like the interactions or the combos or the cards that hurt it and kill it and stop these combos and stop these decks from doing what they can do, you know? So as I said, I love to teach, I love to help, and if there's any way that I can do that, I'm always all for it. I'm always all for it. You're gonna grind up the ranks in Master Duel. Did Sona end up showing up? I haven't seen her just yet. I haven't seen Sona yet. You could look for her, maybe look for her in the chat. You gotta wait till Friday now? I know, dude. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So yeah, look for a video tomorrow on my channel, opening Justice Hunters. We'll be opening the product tomorrow. And then I'm planning to put another video out on Friday, opening to doing something to like look for either like Starlights or collector rares, depending on like what all shows up by that day. And then Saturday though, hoping all of the cases arrive on time. They should. I don't see why they wouldn't, but just plan for Saturday afternoon. We'll be live streaming, ripping open like basically like all of the Justice Hunters that I have available. It's going to be anywhere from 6 to 12 boxes extra that we'll be cracking live for you guys. And we'll be doing a lot of cool giveaways that day, and then just vibing and having a blast going through these cards. Live opening is going to be on Saturday, Miguel. Live opening will be on Saturday. Videos for Wednesday and Friday for the product. Yeah, we need Sona to be here up for the yummies. I think she's gonna lose it when she sees the yummy monsters, man. I think she's gonna go crazy for the yummies. We gotta add them to her cute binder. The cute binder. Yeah. What other decks should we play on Thursday for Time Wizard? For our first ever Time Wizard stream. We're gonna play Gigavice. For Jazz. Jazz has requested Gigavice. What other decks should we put together for that night? Trying to think if there's any other like decks I want to like learn or try out that I don't play in real life. I don't want to just play like what I play all the time in Real Edison. You know. But yeah, man. This was fun. This was a lot of fun to do this, and yeah, we can hop on Master Duel and play a couple rounds. I'm totally up for that. Sounds like a good time. Do an anime deck? I guess the best anime deck that I could make in Edison would be a Yusei deck, like a Junk Synchron Stardust deck. Okay, yeah, that Remove Brainwashing deck is on there. That reminds me, we're gonna look at the deck list from RBET as well on Thursday before we jump on the duels. I want to take a look at all the top deck lists from RBET, Santa Clara, and Indianapolis. I want to take a look at what all got in top 16 at those events. And then yeah, we can go from there for sure. For sure. But yeah, I think that's gonna be that's it for now for tonight's stream. Nothing else I had planned. I just wanted to go, like I said, just wanted to spend, you know, an hour and a half or so to just go through Justice Hunters, go through the cards for the new archetypes, and just kind of get your guys' wheels turning for what these decks are going to be doing. You know, what these decks are going to be doing, and like what to expect, and look at a couple of sample deck lists before we start jumping into the products this week, and also start building these decks and start playing them and learning them, you know. What do I think would be in those tins? Honestly, I think they'll put everything from the main sets last year in them. Like Perulia, Fuvalas, Meows could even be in there. Lacrima. All that stuff, dude. Primite Lordly Load, why not? Pepsi's done with work. Nice, just in time. But hopefully some cool other like old school cards too to just throw in there, since they're doing like tins with all of the old characters on it, you know. But yeah, dude, super fun. Appreciate the all the support tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much everyone that viewed and watched and came in today. Thank you so much for all the new people that subscribed. Really appreciate you guys joining the channel. It's been a really cool thing to see. Every stream we've done so far, we've been getting a decent number, anywhere from 3 to even upwards of 10 new subscribers joining in on the streams. That's really, really amazing. I really appreciate you guys doing that, especially all those also new ones who coming in and joining channel members like Main Phase Juan and Mad Pepsi and a number of other of you guys. I really appreciate that. And then big shout out to all the homies out there that was doing these crazy super chats tonight, man. Just boom, 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 boom. Chaz it up one last time for sure tonight.
That's right, say it again.
Chaz it up. Chaz it up. Oh man. But yeah, super fun. Really excited that I got to do this with you guys. To kind of share some information about Justice Hunters before we dive into the products. So yeah, you guys, you're awesome. Love you all so much, Cyber City Squad. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, we can hop in my Discord. We can play a couple Master Duel games. I'm totally down for a couple duels. And then yeah, I'll see you guys on the next videos and live streams to come this week. Lots to do this week with Justice Hunters. It's going to be wild. But until then, you guys know, stay awesome. All right, good night, Devastators.